Curious, how many of you are operators? Raise your hand if you're a deal operator primarily. How many of you are capital allocators, capital raisers? Raise your hand. You're all, okay. Good. So we're going to talk a lot about something that could be a big win for all of you guys. Before I do so, I want to give a quick introduction to myself. This is me and my wife, Becky. Our real estate coaching program is called Real Estate to Freedom. That's how I've gotten a lot of the capital that I've raised is from my coaching clients. And we've also done a lot of, so I did over 100 flips and rentals, and then we've, about 3 years ago, we decided we're going to go into commercial real estate. My wife's a commercial banker for 15 years, so she has a ton of experience. So we started off with some development projects in North Carolina, 3 different development projects, and they have about $12 million in equity in these projects with 12 luxury homes on the beach for rental. And then we're also selling some of the lots. So this is kind of a look at how they turned out, each with a private pool. It's a really fun project to be a part of. And then more recently, we've been shifting more towards multifamily. There's a lot of great opportunity. Who's seen some of that great opportunity in multifamily lately? So we just closed on this 292-unit apartment complex in San Marcos. Got a pretty big discount on that, $12.5 million in equity. And then we're about to close on this 452-unit apartment complex in San Antonio, Texas. And that somehow got messed up, but it's $18.5 million in equity. We got an $11 million discount on this deal. So we're pretty excited. Now, here's the thing. Those of you who raised their hand and said you're deal operators, I'm looking to talk to you for sure, because I've raised about $4 million in the last 4 months, and we're looking for our next deal. So we're going to be evaluating some deals. Please connect with me sometime during this event. Let's exchange contact info. I'll tell you my criteria, and let's definitely potentially raise some capital for your next deal. Now, these 2 big projects that, we're adding 740 doors to our portfolio this month, and which is awesome, and it should pay about $2 million down the road, right? 5 to 7 years from now. The challenge is, what do I do for cash flow now, right? Raise your hand if you're like, man, commercial real estate's awesome, but I would love to get paid more often, right away, rather than waiting 5 to 7 years, right? Raise your hand. Okay, good. So I'm going to show you guys a really cool opportunity that you can be a part of. It's the cool thing about this, what I'm about to share, is it's right in your lane. So this isn't my primary gig. This is just a side hustle that I'm doing to get money in my pocket now while I'm waiting for all these big deals to pay out. So before I show you that, let me just say, who loves traveling? Raise your hand if you love traveling. That's my dream life for me, is traveling the world. This is an example of our dream life calendar. 3.5 months of family vacation, going to all these different countries. My wife and I have been to 24 countries together in 24 months. In fact, I've just hit 84 countries visited. So this is what it's all for me, is freedom, right? Yeah, so I love it. So then we've got, so this is the company, the opportunity that I want to share that could make a big difference. So I work with a company called Stormchecks. What Stormchecks specializes in is they help unlock hidden value in your properties. In fact, 95% of property owners don't even realize that they have a claimable damage on their storm. A lot of the times the damage is invisible and it's missed during routine inspections. Insurance companies count on this inaction to save themselves millions of dollars of claims. And so what Stormchecks does is they do storm monitoring on your portfolio. And they'll look at unclaimed damage because it's lost capital that you could use to reduce debt or reinvest. And what this does is it limits your cash flow and your ability to pursue new opportunities if you don't have this money that is really owed to you. You paid for your insurance, and so this is money that you could be doing a lot of other things with. So what they do, what Stormchecks does is they monitor to see the storms in your area, right? So because it's often underneath the surface. So they'll send someone out to your project and take a close look, take pictures. They know what to look for. Especially, who's got properties in Texas? It seems like I've met a lot of people with properties in Texas. The Midwest, they say about 40 to 80% of projects in the Midwest have storm damage. That's what I like to say, hail yeah. Do I have a hail yeah? So now, when a storm happens, instead of being upset, you can be like, hail yeah, I could get a big check. So the standard inspections, guys, they routinely fail to identify it. In fact, the insurance companies are programmed not to identify it, right? They want to deny your claims. They want you to not notice it. And the rising interest rates and tight cash flow right now makes missing these opportunities even more painful. So the Stormchecks solution is as follows. They do 24/7 storm monitoring of all your properties, right? And it's totally free. And then they have the advanced non-disruptive inspections that they do. Like I mentioned, they come and they check out, they take the pictures, and they're ready to go to bat for you against your insurance company. They find that damage that people don't know. They've worked with, they're 20 years old, by the way. They've done over $20 billion in storm damage recovery. So they're experts at doing this, and they know how to find it. And then they give you a clear and detailed report of all the potential claims that you have on your property. Now, I just ran this project in San Antonio in the Stormchecks website, and I found that I could get, they projected about a $1.3 million loss. Again, technically, right? For me, a check of $1.3 million based on a storm that was like April 1st of last year, right? So think of what you could do. And by the way, the nice thing about this is that you don't have to necessarily spend the money on the repairs. If it's minor, it could be repairs that aren't really that consequential. Technically, they qualify for a paycheck, but you don't have to actually use it you might do some minor repairs, or you could, put that money into renovating the project. Maybe even supercharging your investors' returns. On this particular deal, when I analyzed it, my San Antonio project, if we did an early distribution to our investors, an unexpected distribution, and we could give 25% of their money back. And imagine what that's going to do to their rate of return. Do you guys think those people would want to come back to you if you're supercharging their return, right? I mean, there's so many great things that you can do with these returns. And you can see, I've been showing you all the people they've worked with in the past. This person got offered $725,000. The final settlement that Stormchecks secured was $6.5 million. So again, the insurance companies are trying to get you as little as possible. Stormchecks gets goes and gets oftentimes as much as 57 times more than you would get from your insurance company. So and I know a lot of you are thinking, well, what about the rates going up? What about insurance rates going up, right? Some of you are going to ask that. So here's a nice little thing you can do. You can actually, before you submit the claim, and by the way, it's totally free. You don't have to even, you can just find out, you see all the graphs, see everything that Stormchecks is going to give you all for free. And then you can decide, you can do a cost-benefit analysis and decide if you want to move forward with it, right? So a lot of people, a lot of the clients of Stormchecks they'll switch insurance companies right before submitting the claim. So that can often avoid having your rates go up. A lot of times the rates go up already in an area that's had storms, so you might as well get a piece of the pie, right? Now, and then you have to do the cost-benefit analysis, right? So let's say your premium does go up, maybe $50,000 a year. If you get a $2 million check, that's about 40 years worth of paying $50,000 extra a year, right? So that $2 million now is a lot better, I would argue, than $50,000. Now, if you're going to sell this project like next year, you may not want to take their gamble because it could temporarily decrease your NOI. But after a few years, it's all going to even out anyway, right? So if you're planning to hold it for at least a few years, you should definitely look into getting a huge insurance payout. So again, a lot of the deals that Stormchecks has done is multi-million-dollar claims. I'll show you a couple more. This one is in Naples, Florida. Who's from Florida? Raise your hand. A couple of you? Yeah, I've talked to a few of you. So again, they initially got offered $0. Stormchecks got them $2 million. This retail center in Mexico, Missouri, they got offered $500,000, and Stormchecks got them $3.9 million. Okay. And by the way, so if you've already had a claim, for example, Stormchecks, you keep the $500,000. But they'll actually go, even if you've already been awarded by your insurance company, they'll go to bat for you even in that situation because they know that they can get, unless you've already repaired everything, right? They can probably get you even more money. And what they do, what Stormchecks does is they'll give the owners 80% of what they recover, and Stormchecks keeps the 20%. And the cool thing about the 20% is that if you refer someone to Stormchecks, you can get up to 15% of that return. So for example, my San Antonio deal, and this is how it can benefit all of you, even if you're not an owner. If you're a capital raiser, you're talking to operators all the time, right? So on this project in San Antonio, if the guys that I'm working with there, if they take us up on this, if we get that check, it'll be a $200,000 plus payment for me as my part. So it's a great way. You're doing it anyway. You're networking with property owners anyway. Why not give them some amazing value by letting them know about Stormchecks? And it can help your investors, right? If they do a distribution, an early distribution, or even if they improve the overall performance of the property with that money, it's going to help you in so many ways. It's a win-win-win for everyone, right? That's what I love about this. Another retail project, the initial offer, the insurance company they gave them was $35,000. Stormchecks unlocked $2 million. So this was again, 57x higher payout from Stormchecks. They're professionals. They know exactly what to look for and how to go to bat for you. This one in Tulsa, Oklahoma, again, $0 was their initial offer, $2 million. This one in North Carolina went from $0 to $3.9 million, and another from $0 to $1.5 million. So again, as I mentioned, Stormchecks has been around for 20 years. They've already recovered $20 billion. They have a lot of insider knowledge about how to do this, and the nice thing is it's $0 upfront cost. So definitely scan the QR code, guys. It's so easy to get started. All you have to do, literally it takes 30 seconds. You just scan the QR code, put your property address in there, and then they'll, within 3 or 4 days, they'll get you a report on what storms happened in your area. If not, they'll do continuous storm monitoring for the future, and they'll let you know when a storm happens. So you can have one of those hell yeah moments the next time a storm happens, right? And then they do it's a white glove service. Operators can just sign a release, and then Stormchecks does all the work, handles everything, so it doesn't have to take operators really any time. And then you'll get the report, and you'll decide for sure if you want to move forward again before you need to make the claim. So again, with the costs, there's no upfront costs. That we talked about the premium increase concern that a lot of people have. Some people say, well, don't public adjusters do this? They do, but we find a lot of stuff that the public adjusters usually miss. This is what we specialize in. So anyway, this is an opportunity I'm super excited about. And if you're like, hey, I'm not a property owner, but man, I would love to get some referrals by doing this, please come chat with me, and I'll set you up on our referral program so that you can send this to operators and make some sweet income while your project is waiting to close 5 years from now. Any quick questions before I wrap? They suggest 10,000 square feet or more. Otherwise, it's almost not really worth it. So, great question. Any others? Any asset type, yep, absolutely. All right, well, thanks so much, guys. It's been great.